Hey, you guys, welcome back. We are in a series of amazing things for our individuals with disabilities. If we haven't met up here, Mayor Cunningham, founder of Special Education Academy, helping everyone who sits at the IEP 504 table navigate and negotiate successful student outcomes. So we're very excited today. We have Mike Lutey with us. He is a franchisee owner of Special Strong, and we're going to get some information from him, talk about how awesome it is, what it does for kiddos, and how it might be a benefit to you. So, Mike, welcome.
Well, thanks for having me. Thanks
Yeah,
for
so
having me.
yeah, absolutely. So I've been not involved, but I met Daniel Strong a few months ago, and so tell me how you came to be a Special Strong franchisee owner.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Well, I was just on LinkedIn and I saw Daniel and some of his videos he posted, and I was like, wow, I want to get involved. I want to get involved. So I just messaged him like, hey, do you have anything like that here in Houston or where you're at? Where I know you're in Dallas. How can I get involved? How can I volunteer? And we developed a friendship, over several months. And then it was during the COVID pandemic type thing. And then he came back and he was, as he got to know me and my story, he's like, well, we're thinking about, doing franchises. What do you think about that? I'm like, I have a great job. Um, not very necessarily interested, but I didn't know, lo and behold, he was kind of putting me already through the interview process for several months. And so, and then one day we're a faith-based company, and I got back to him, I think at 10:10 in the morning. And so the significance of 10:10 is John 10:10, and that's
Yeah.
kind of our mission statement. And he's like, that was a sign. So he offered me to be their first franchisee. And so to give you a little bit of background, my story, I have a sister that has Down syndrome, and so I've been around it. And one thing that really appealed to me, especially, these young adults, there was two things that stuck out to me when I was growing up. One is, I grew up in Montana, and the seems like all the special needs kids would join our gym class, but they'd be stuck in the corner. No one would work with them.
Right.
And God bless my teachers. My gym teachers were great. I just don't think they ever knew how to work with them. And so I saw that, and then I also saw, especially when my sister aged out of school, that there was no recreational and social program for her. Very little things offered. So I kind of want to bridge that gap. And then also my mom, she used to work for the lady that wrote the DD waiver for the state of Montana.
Yeah.
And yeah, and she was actually gonna think she was supposed to kind of take over that waiver, like be in that position. But as you know, um, with all programs, the government stepped in and put some people from Medicare, Medicaid, younger people that really didn't understand, our special needs population, and doing things that my mom drove my mom crazy. So she,
Yeah.
left that. But that's kind of, I've been all, around it. My mom used to work for a couple different places. One was called Special Training for Exceptional People, and also Family Outreach. And those were really the programs that really helped. And my mom wanted to help families find anything on a local, state, or federal level for any kind of programs or help. And so I've been around it my whole life, and so Special Strong is a perfect fit. I didn't think I would be doing this, but it was just kind of a calling, and I'm super thankful for it. It's great work with these individuals. I think because uh, you know, having my sister in my whole life, and then I just have a natural knack working with these individuals. A lot of parents, even me and my coaches, are like, "Wow, you guys are so great with them," and I'm like, "What do you do different?" I'm like, "Actually, I just, words of wisdom from my mom. I treat them just like a normal person.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I feel like these young adults will get, you know, they can sense when people are hesitant towards them or treat them differently, and we don't. I mean, if they do good, we tell them they do good. If they do something bad, we let them know, and we
Yeah.
really want to build that coach to athlete dynamic, because they don't get that a lot as well. and that's just a sense of normalcy. And then that's when their personality comes out. That's when they, their confidence shows, and it's just a great thing. So, um, over the two different, we have two different programs we really do. We work with individuals one-on-one and also group classes. So, and that's, the byproduct of having group classes too, is the parents get together, and then they get to find out about all these other really neat events going on, and these kids have 2 or 3 different options a day, it seems like, which is phenomenal. I feel very blessed down here in Southeast Houston. We have such a good community, and all of us different types of programs, whether it's Waves of Impact, the Christina Sullivan Foundation, Side by Side Parent. We all kind of, we're in it together, and we create a really, really neat atmosphere for these individuals to grow, especially as they become adults, right?
Good.
And so kind of where we fit in is, this day and age of technology, we kind of talked about it, right? We're so dependent on it. And,
Yes.
and so the flip side of that is these young adults get to, they're on their iPads, their phones, and they live a very sedentary lifestyle, which is, we want to get them up and active and social. And so we, and add years to their lives, and have them be happy. So, that's kind of where we fit in. And that's kind of my backstory of
That's
how it came
that's
about.
awesome. So tell me about this amazing job that you had, or you still have, or you weave it in together.
No, 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 no. So as a franchise owner, I mean, you have to, this is your job. This is my job. This is my full-time gig. To give it to grow it, or just to give as much nature, you couldn't have another job. It would be impossible. So
Okay.
this is it, my full-time gig. I actually have the Southeast Houston franchise, and in April 1st of this year, I took over the North and Northwest Houston franchise as well.
So that's
So
like the Woodlands. Where is that territory?
yeah, so that's Conroe, Woodland, Spring, Cypress, yeah, all up in that area.
Yeah.
Willis, everywhere.
So tell us how, so are you by trade? Were you already a trainer? Were you already a gym rat? And I say that in the
Uh,
most loving way.
no, 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 no. I know, I get it. I wasn't necessarily a gym rat, but I did, I guess in my early 30s, I actually started, you know, really, really paying attention to eating right and actually working out regularly. Not really a gym rat. I've never been a person you look at as like, oh, that guy goes to the gym every day, but I just want to live a
Yeah.
healthy lifestyle. And just because more for me, I've always been worked long hours, and I found the gym actually gave me more energy, made me feel better, and so that's why I did it. And so as far as my background is certifications, I wasn't a personal trainer before, uh,
Okay.
and all I had was really just I worked with these individuals on a personal level of just a social level, and that actually is one of our keys is relationship focus is what we are, and um that's the most important part. If you have that and you have a heart to work with this population, then I can teach you, or we can teach you how to be run classes, do one-on-ones and all that stuff. So
Okay. Awesome. So that's interesting when I train advocates nationally and they're like, what is the criteria? I'm like, pulse and you like children. And now that weeds out a lot of people, doesn't it? But we just like to be upfront, right? And
yes.
so I think one of the things that's great about this population, my oldest son was in special education. He's, what I always say is these children, these individuals, these young adults have had to work hard for everything in their life. And they're usually, in my experience, the easiest to work with because they're used to having to work for something. Nothing's handed to them. So I think that's phenomenal. I love the videos that I see. So how many, if you have all of these territories and you just get up every morning and put on your Superman cape, how does it work? Do you have people that are training for you? Are you training every single person?
No, 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 no. So down here in Southeast Houston, as we grew, as I took over some other territories, I put one of my top trainers in charge, kind of. So he's taken on the role of hiring some new trainers, and doling out like, one-on-ones and group classes and kind of more, or I'm grooming him to do all that. Why I'm overseeing, why I kind of get north and northwest, back up to where we're at down here. I have different trainers doing different things. I have some people that are part-time that will just do coach classes. I have some that will do both one-on-ones and coach classes. It's just, it's a mix. A lot of my part-time coaches might have a full-time job, right? But they have the heart for this community, so they might be a special education teacher. They'll do Special Olympics or different stuff like that, which makes great coaches for us. And so that's a part-time. We have some other individuals that want to do this full-time, so they'll take on one-on-ones and also group classes.
Okay. And so if for those people that are watching this, they're interested in the franchisee opportunity, do do you have to run an ad, workout people needed in Houston, or is that something that Special Strong helps you with?
For what was the question again?
It like so when you become a franchisee owner, how does Special Strong help you in acquiring trainers?
Yes. So actually, this is something new this year. We we use a program, and we post ads for trainers, and it's actually been a blessing. I'm not sure if you know this, but I was the very first franchisee, which
Yeah.
I wear that with a badge of honor. But
Yeah.
early on, we had to go find all of them. So I kind of handpicked all my people, and they've been fantastic because even if they didn't know that they'd be a great coach, I saw some stuff in them, and I've been very fortunate. I have a good handful of people that have been great. As we grow, we use a program that will send out ads to different
Okay.
places like Indeed and stuff like that. And so when we're hiring, they'll be on those major sites.
Awesome. So when you have a student, I know that you work with several individuals that I was blessed to be their advocate or am still their advocate. Is it 90 days to shredded abs, or tell us what the program looks like?
So, well, yeah. So the two different ones. So I'll start with the group classes. So group classes I really designed for a social and recreational outlet, and this is where you know a lot of these kids or young adults, they get to meet other kids like-minded kids, and they get to be part of a team. We always really push the coach to athlete dynamic. Even in our classes, every class we'll end with a we call it a send off. 1, 2, 3, strong on me, and we all do it together. So we really build that dynamic, and that was more. And then, like I said, the byproduct is the parents get together and they get to find out about all these other different social type events. And
Yeah.
so that's really neat to see. And then also the group classes, we want a variety. Obviously, safety is always our number one priority. I think a close second is fun, but really getting these adults to, they want to come. They might not like a thing called exercise, but they want to come to our fun fit classes. And if you really get them really telling their parents or telling them they want to go, it makes all the difference in the world for their progress. And so in our group classes, we have several down here in Southeast Houston. We have our basic classes, a boot camp, which is kind of like a circuit training. We have a couple different levels of fundamentals and a athletics. So one's just a little bit slower paced. We have adaptive dance because all the girls wanted a dance class.
Yeah. I
Um,
could go to that.
and then we have kickboxing, fun fit kickboxing. We have fun fit bounce camp, which we do at Jumping World, which is kind of a high energy, high aerobic. And then movement mobility. And then we do adaptive aquatics for the city of Friendswood and the city of League City. And I feel like there's another one in there. Am I missing one? But yeah, so we have a wide variety, and every class kind of designed for different reasons. A lot of it seems like maybe a lot of weight management or just really getting into exercise or having fun with it is what most of the goals of these kids and
Right.
parents are. And just to be active. So that's our that's our group classes. Our one-on-ones are a little bit different. They're more of a we build a customized, it's, we really use our personal training background, um, to cultivate, like maybe we have someone that needs to work on their balance, right? If we have some kids that have cerebral palsy, balance, weight management, or just being familiar in the gym. When we take on every one of those programs, we kind of we get what the parents and the kids want to accomplish, and then we incorporate that and build a program for them to accomplish those goals. And it's a wide variety of things. And also the one-on-one. So we work with anybody with a mental, physical, or a cognitive challenge. So a lot of times in the one-on-ones, we work with post physical therapy, post PT, like stroke survivors,
Right.
ALS, PLS, cerebral palsy, and so we do that, as well.
So it's not just individuals that necessarily had special education in school. It could have been somebody that had an onset condition as well, correct?
Yes, any, muscular neuro disorder, disease. It could be someone that, I was working with an individual. He was riding a skateboard, teenagers riding a skateboard and got hit by a car.
Uh,
And so he's in a wheelchair, brain, trauma. And so, anything, like that. Just so the adaptive inclusive fitness is just really, regressions and progressions of moves that we really will help people accomplish their goals.
And so you talked about the gyms, and obviously you're in many cities, right? I live where you live in Southeast Houston. So did you just pull out your cash machine and buy gyms everywhere? How does that work?
Yeah, so we actually partnered up with local gyms or places. For example, you know, uh, coming out, this is a brand new idea down here in Houston 3 years ago. I went to several different gyms, and some gyms are too big. You had to go through corporate and all that red tape. But some of the smaller and local gyms, they're owner operated.
Yeah,
Those are the people that I like to work with because not only they're local, but they're also small because that atmosphere of a smaller gym is not so intimidating to our population.
right.
And so I have to give a shout out to Anytime Fitness here in League City. They were Jason and Melinda's like, he's like, this is great. They do rock steady boxing for seniors with Parkinson's. And so they already kind of in that space, and they're like, yeah, I want to see, and it's actually grown. We're really good friends with them, and they've been fantastic. And then those like Jumping World, they will have sensory nights there, and she's like, hey, the owner really wants to reach out, you let us know. And so I was like, well, maybe we can do a class there. Or the City of Friends, we'll do our dance class and our movement mobility at Jones Hangar in Friendswood. So we're kind of Friendswood's adaptive, just like their adaptive programs, and so they kind of hand that over to us. uh and so it's just yeah, so we don't have our own locations, maybe someday, but we're just so young and new. um
Well, I mean, it
and
makes sense to partner with an entity that's already there.
yeah, because they have all the equipment. It'd be definitely a very expensive to start out like that. um and yeah, and so that's like down here in the Southeast Houston. So up north we'll have a Texas Sports Medicine Center, which is actually HCA's physical therapy building, which is a beautiful facility.
Wow.
So we go out of there, or the YMCA up north, D Bradley. We'll do some class out of there, and then and actually Planet Fitness, the guy that owns all 30 some locations here in Houston, reached out to us and wants us to do our thing out of there. And
Oh, that's
even
great.
yeah, so we're and I haven't really looked too much down here in the South for new partners, just because like I said, I approached 10, 15 different gym owners, and they're all like, oh, it sounds great. But, it's always a but when we're working with this population. They don't want to take that chance, or they don't know. But like I said, Anytime Fitness, Jason Melinda took a chance on us, and it's been fantastic for their gym. It's been fantastic for our kids and our adults and everybody. So,
So, talking about taking a risk on our population, one of the things you said at the beginning, they're not Fabergé eggs. This is what I always say when we're writing a program for school. Like, give them a program, give them rigor, don't overwhelm them, but they're not little delicate things. And I think that's part of the not the exclusion, right? Is because we think that they can't, right? But they can if we adapt it. So you're not like just signing up 10 kids and going, y'all go in there Thursday, let me know how it goes. You're with them, correct?
Oh yeah. I still coach several classes. My Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do all one-on-ones all day long, actually. But yeah, no, so our classes are designed, we kind of have, for each class, just in simple terms, we do a dynamic warm up, we'll do the main workout, we'll do a cool down, and then we do a send off. And every class kind of concentrates on something different, but we're there. No, you made a good point. Like they're not, like a delicate egg or anything. So even some of the parents come and they see, because to command a class, we're kind of loud. We're like this, and they're like, I don't know if if so and so is going to be able to do this. But then all of a sudden, their son or daughter is like taking a like, and they're like, wow, I didn't think that. It's like, yeah, we like I said, we treat them as normal as possible until there's a moment we can't, right?
Right.
Of course, we have that compassion if one of our individuals is stemming a little bit, or but as these kids and young adults get to know us, they get to trust us, and then as they trust us and are familiar with us, they listen to us. There's things that some of these kids and parents come to me all the time, like, I never thought I'd ever see so and so run. Like he's running now. Like
Right.
or he's going up the steps without, help, or he, like usually loud noises or something will bother him. But for some reason he loves it, so
Right.
it's it's just really pushing those. I think that there's always and I saw this growing up a lot too, but I think society in general always will pigeonhole, oh, this individual with Down syndrome is exactly like this, or this individual with autism is exactly like this, which is further from, as further from the truth.
Yeah.
Everybody's so unique and such and I just think we kind of give them that platform to become their unique self, and and guess what? They just like what everybody else likes. They want to be a part of something. They want to feel like they belong, and they want to be pushed. Even though they might not want to be pushed, they want to be pushed. So
Yeah.